नमः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येम अक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यसेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ अग्ने नयसुपथा राये अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् योध्यस्म जुहुराणमेनो भूयिष्ठां तेन उक्तिं विधेम। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गः। ॐ आब्रह्मन् ब्राह्मणो ब्रह्मवच्चसि जायताम् आराष्ट्रे राजन्यः शूरैषव्यो दिव्याधि महारथो जायताम् दुग्ध्री धेनुः ओढानड्वान् आसुः सप्तिः पुरन्धिर्योषा जिष्णुरधेष्ठा सभेयो युवास्य यजमानस्य वीरो जायतां निकामे निकामेनः पर्जन्यो वर्षतो फलवत्यो न ओषधयः पच्यन्तां योगक्षेमो नः कल्पेताम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् आहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोतु अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति Shanti, Shanti. So, whenever we are sitting before the feet of the Upanishadic Brahma, then he is not easily be revealed. So, but nobody should neglect the study of Brahma. Who is this Brahma? The Brahma is said to be Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam. So, Guhayam Nihitam Brahma. And again, who is this Brahma? Satyam. He is truth. Gnanam. He is knowledge. And Satyam Anantam, the infinite. So, we cannot reach up the Brahma at all. Something like when there was a test between Brahma and Vishnu, who is great, then Shiva became the pillar, and Brahma and Vishnu, all of they both tried to find out the top of the pillar. But Vishnu sincerely said, I don't know. The Anantam Brahma cannot be named or discovered or seen. But Brahmadeva had 5 heads at that time, and he said, no, I have seen the fifth, the top of it. So that was the asatyam. And because of that, he suffered. So Gnanam, the knowledge, Anantam Brahma. So this way, we have to note down Brahma. But what is the form of the Brahma? See, actually, it is said Murta Murta Swarupaha. And this brand Anirdesya Vapuhu. In Vishnu Sahasranamam, we are given the thought that anybody can boast. Nanke gottu, Narayana andre gottu, Brahma andre gottu, ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ನಾನೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ಬೇರೆ, ನಾನು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ಒಂದೇ. ಅಹಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಸ್ಮಿ, ನೋ ಕಾಂಟ್ರವರ್ಸಿ. Brahmaivaham napara, no controversy. But to see him and all that is cannot happen, because Brahma is always two ways. That is Murta and Amurta, Guna, Saguna and Nirguna. And therefore, we have got to go on with our investigation, with our search. Then how is that? We must have some form or the other, some kind or the other, so that we can hang on with that and go up. Something like aircraft. In aircraft, we can travel miles and miles, not on the land, but also in the sky, cover long distances with a short time. That is why we say that's what. But for a person like Jambavan or Hanuman or Sugriva, such people, they don't require a aircraft. They are themselves the aircraft. That's why Langhanam, Samudra Sita Devi says in Ramayana, and Sim said, and also Hanuman attests saying that there are only three people who can cross over, can make such a leap from A to B of the ocean, from A shore to B. But all people cannot come at all because they have their own limitations. But here we observe that Brahma is Anantam, and that Anantam is dependence upon us and Maham. So ultimately, when we come to the table of or the desk of Mr. Sri Mandukya Maharshi, who is the son of Manduka Maharshi, and we have separately the Manduka Maharshi has given Mundukhyopanishad. And his son has picked up an interesting concept, easier for people to meditate and then try to reach up some heights of the Brahmaloka. And how is it happen? And before you go to Brahmaloka, as we understand, there are so many other subsidiary lokas. Unless you cross them one by one, you will not go up to that. Something like you have to Katpadi to go to Madras, or Basin Bridge to go to Madras. Somebody was telling, Basin Bridge ಬಂದ್ರು ಅಂದರೆ ಸರ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಮೆಡ್ರಾಸ್ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ. ಹೀಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಮಾಲೂರು ಬಂದರೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಬಂತು ಅಂತ. But before Bangalore, there are so many stations. Before Madras, there are so many stations. In the same manner, to go up to Vaikuntha, that is a place where there is no Kuntha at all. Kuntha means some kind of deficiency or calamity or some such shortcoming. But Vaikuntha is Vinakuntham. It is absolutely perfect place where Narayana alone chose to be living there. That's why in Lakshmi Narasimha Sahasranam we are all celebrating the Narasimha Jayanti, and we are just in the freshness of that. So there it is said, Vaikunthaya Vikunthaya Vaikunthaya Vikunthaya Kesikanthaya Kantine Kantihiravaya Lunthaya Narasimhaya Te Namaha. All thakaras you observe, that is what is Mahavishnu Swarupa, that is Narasimha Swami, because he is Ugram, Veeram, Mahavishnum, Jwalantam, Sarvatomukham, Nrusimham, Bhishanam. So ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಆರು ಭಯಂಕರವಾದ ಸ್ವರೂಪಗಳ ವರ್ಣನೆ ಇದೆ. ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಭಯಂಕರವಾಗಿ ವಿಷ್ಣು ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರು ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ he cautions Brahmadeva in Bhagavatam, hey, you have been trying to depend on me to destroy the Mahasuras and who are causing problems to Dharma and Sajjanas. In future, if at all you are continuing the creation, you must have somebody in your own creation who will be able to put out the Rakshasa Badha, Chitrahimsa, and all that to the good people. And then Brahmadeva is yours obediently is Kama signature, Brahmadeva. So from after Narasimha Avataram, all avatars are human avatars. So you observe that Rama Avatara is a good contrast to Narasimha Avatara, and you can always draw a line of contrast and compare between Narasimha and Sri Ramachandra. Sri Ramachandra, though he is reminded that he is Mahavishnu and Narayana, but he never believed it. He just acted. He just acted only that he is man. So only Matali also chided him, advised him before the second fight with Ravanasura. What is that, Rama? You are Mahavishnu. Why not you employ Brahmastram? So then accordingly he did it. So why I am going astray means Brahma Swarupam is to be Anveshana. That's why in the Prashnoparishatu, Pippalada Maharshi will talk to those people who are Brahmanveshinaha, Brahmanishtaha, Brahmaparaha, Brahmanveshinaha, Rushayaha. So the six rishis are not stopping at the idea of visualizing or knowing about Brahma, but what required for that Brahma Gnana is that Brahmajnana is Anandam Para. It's absolutely Anando Brahma ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So what is Brahmanishtatvam, Brahmanveshanatvam, and Brahma Paratvam also. Paratvam is supposed to be bias. You should be partial to be able to go on investigating the placement and Prasarupam and Gunas and all that of Brahma. Because as Dr. Radhakrishnan has put him to be a Brahman andre, is a supra cosmic transcendental force ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. So you look at he's a force, Brahma is a force, but transcendental force, supra cosmic transcendental force, and supra cosmic potential. So in which case, in order to go up to the Brahma, we have to have these to cross all these things. So in this Mundukhyopanishad, we are going to note down that Omkaram Pranavatmanam ಅಂತ ಮಹಾನ್ಯಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಗಿನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೂ ಈಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಶ್ವರ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಓಂಕಾರಂ ಪ್ರಣವಾತ್ಮಾನಂ ಮಹಾದೇವಂ ಅಂತ. ಈ ಮಹಾದೇವ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಣವ ಆತ್ಮ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ದಿ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ವೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರಣವ. And what is Pranava? There is a Pranava Upanishad is there, and Mandukya is also trying to give us a kind of understanding of the Pranava Swarupam, Omkara Swarupam, and which means that one has to become inward. Outward is one. We have the temples, they're all outward. When you go to temple, there you see in the sanctum sanctorium, Paramatmas are being installed in an idol form, and moreover there is a pratishtha done. Therefore, there will be a kind of eye contact between you and the Paramatma, provided you stand before the Paramatma for some time, and then you will be able to get some kind of feelings. So ಆ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮಾನಂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಓಂಕಾರದ ಸಾಧನದಿಂದ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ. And so Mahadeva is Omkara. Now we have just tried to understand the Pranava Swarupam or Omkara Swarupam, or the definition of Omkara, the benefits of Omkara, and all that we have seen in the first 5 verses, and where you are able to go up to the lokas. Pippalada Maharshi says, if you say Omkara one time, you will go to mundane and you get all the mundane happiness. And if at all you want to elevate yourself from the mundane attractions, you have to go with so many religious rituals and activities like upasana, dhyana, and vandana, and pradakshina, and so on. So all these things are available only in Bhulokam. And after taking to these upasana modes, we'll be able to realize that. And when you do 2 times Omkara, Paparad Maharshi says, you will be able to go to Surya Loka. And if you do 3 times and more, then you will go to Satyaloka, where you can visualize the Purusha, Parama Purusha, Swarupam, and Lokam. So there is a lot of commentary for that. But anyway, here in the verse 5, as we saw it says 5, Yatra suptaha kanchana kamang kamayate na kanchana swapnam pasyati tat sushuptasthana eki bhutaha pragnana ghana eva anandamayo hi ananda bhuk chetaha cheto mukhaha so pragnaha tritiya padaha. So he has divided that there are steps. Pada is a step. So there are steps for realizing the Omkara and Paramatma. So we noted that the second step is to fill full with the tejas, with the activity. And it is that kind of thing. The tejasa is available in the dream state, and in the dream state you will be able to get upwards all those which are inside dormant in us. Because when you go to sleep, we don't know what kind of dreams we are going to have. There is no syllabus for the dream at all. And the dream has not, people say Telugulo, కలలకు చెవులు లేవు ముంతలు లేవు అంటారు. అంటే there is no vessel or container, nor the ears, nor anything to the dreams. They just come like clouds in the sky. But who will be watching all those dreams that you are getting? It is all Paramatma. There is one person, the Paramatma, who will be watching and recording what kind of that is. It is a dream, as people say that it is a language of the mind. So when the language that we speak out when we are wakeful is different. You have foul language, sacred language, religious language, and all that is there when you are wakeful. And that buddhi, gnana, and all that are also the consciousness is there. What kind of talk I am making? Because Vang me manasi pratisthita, mano me vachi pratishthitam aviravihi. So this is another Upanishad prayer, that speech contains your mind and the mind contains your speech. So both speech and mind to be protected, because they need protection. Aviravihi. That particular prayer is that please protect that my mind and my speech. So here in the fourth question, we go into dream. When we come to the fifth question, here it is stated, in the state of deep sleep, the sleeper does not know anything for himself. And he will not hear, he will not see, all these functions are gone to sleep. So then we say it is a deep sleep. We are in the sphere of the deep sleep, and we will have such a kind of homogeneous mass of consciousness entire, that is itself is said to be the bliss. We enjoyed the bliss. Sometimes we are happy at the dreams that we are going to get, and sometimes the dreams also will describe your future destiny. And because we don't know what are we going to do, and what are things, sometimes they get revealed. And it's again, that's why Paramatma, if at all he wants to give you some kind of future indications, he will make such dreams into your such dream state that he will tell you that in course of time or next or so, things will happen like that. That's why Sriharsha, the great Mahakavi of Sanskrit literature, when he wrote Naishadham, and he said it was a Naishadham is Vidyad Aushadham ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. It is actually the medicine or a test for all Vidwans.
He also wrote, Guruji, Kandana Kandana Kadya. Very famous negation.
Very powerful. We can talk on Sriharsha also, we have to talk, because see, one day the Sriharsha wrote first composition Maishadham, and then his uncle, who was also a great scholar, read it and told, what is this? I don't understand. If this kind of kavya were to be projected into the circulation, nobody will know you. No, you should reduce your the tempo of intelligence and write at a lower mode or lower that. Then how can I do it? It is my sharp intelligence. Then Mama treated him with such protein substance, vegetarian, then grams, and for 6 months he only gave him the uddina vada. ಆ ಉದ್ದಿನದಿಂದಲೇ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು 6 ತಿಂಗಳಾದಮೇಲೆ ಮಾವ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರಂತೆ, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಆವಾಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀಯಾ ಅಂತ. ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಅಶೇಷ ಸೇಮುಷಿ ಮೂಷಂ ಆಶಮಶ್ನಾಮಿ ಮಾತುಲಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವನು. ಸಿ ಮಾತುಲಾ, ಓ ಅಂಕಲ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಈಟಿಂಗ್ that masha annam that will just reduce, step down the sharpness of the intelligence ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಈ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ ಇವನಿಗೇನು ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನು. ಸೊ ಇವನು ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟು ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಮ್ಮ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾರ್ಡಿನರಿ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್ which Sriharsha enjoyed, but ultimately he wrote Naishadham Kavyam. So my point here is, he says in the dream state, so many things which you are going to happen, which will also appear in the dream. That the simple cause or explanation for that is adrushtamapya adruštavaibhavat karoti suptim janadarsanatithim anta. So a question comes up, how could Damayanti visualize Nara, or Nala dreamt about Damayanti, and even when they have not seen each other, but because of that dream, both of them desired that they should be married. But when the idea of marriage comes, her father Bhima, she is called Bhaimi, Bhima Maharaja, announced a Swayamvaram for Damayanti. Even gods were the candidates to woo her and to marry her, and that's a story I don't want to describe now. So there, ಅದೃಷ್ಟಮಪಿ ಅದೃಷ್ಟ ವೈಭವಾತ್, ಅದೃಷ್ಟ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ವೈಭವ, ಒಂದು ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ, ಒಂದು ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ, ಒಂದು ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಅದೃಷ್ಟ ಎಂಬ ವೈಭವದಿಂದ, although you have not seen things, they become visible to you. I have also personal experiences, and I was wondering, actually, South India, in the Garbhagudi, we see only one Sivalingam, Shiva being installed there, and all people do Shivalingam. But when we go to north, it is not like that. We see more Shivalingas in same Garbhagudi being there. Something like that. I was just imagining, but I could go to that place where a temple where I saw not one Shivalinga is there in the Garbhagudi, many more. Anyway, so ಈ ತರಹ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಂದರೆ, ಪ್ರಾಜ್ಞಃ ತೃತೀಯ ಪಾದ, ದಿ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಪಾದ, ದ ಡ್ರೀಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿ waking state, all that has been comparatively described in that. ಸೊ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳು, ಈವನ್ Pippalada Maharshi says, the indriyas go to rest, but mind does not go to rest. If you are able to make the mind go to rest, that's what I have been trying. If you are able to make the mind rest, then that you will be entering into Turiya state. And Turiya is a wonderful state where you have got so many new experiences. And you similarly, for our Vedic mantras to get revealed, for rishis, they have to transcend 7 layers of frontiers of knowledge. In fact, one of our friends of Adhyayana Kendra, Ramagaru, I think so, or yeah, Rama, he prepared a documentary on the how rishis are revealing the sounds and interpreted, translated into the Rishi, and all the Vedas came. So he was trying to ultimately show all the frontiers of knowledge journey, and at the 7th level of consciousness, you are able to visualize and hear the deities on whom so many hymns have come. That's why it is said, Rishaya dharma tapobhikamaha anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ವಾಲ್ಮೀಕಿ ಮಹರ್ಷಿ. Meaning, the rishis, what is the mainstay of rishis? Dharma and tapas. But Rama also is a rishi. He told his wife, newlywed, bringing her to her palace, saying that Mam Rishibhistulyam, Mam Vidhi Rishibhistulyam Kevalam Dharma Asritam. Between tapas and dharma, he has voted for dharma. Therefore, kevalam dharma asitam. So that dharma, I'm able to. So in fact, that's a different matter. So here in the 5th, we see that manyante atma sa vigneya. Sorry, in the 5th one it is like that. Now I am reading the 6th and 7th verses. So the Satish Garu, do you read these two formulas, mantras? एष सर्वेश्वरः एष सर्वज्ञः.
1 minute, I'll come. Which one? 5th one, huh?
6th and 7th.
Okay. 6th and 7th. Okay. Esha Sarveshwara, Esha Sarvagnaha, Esho.
No, slowly. Yeah, you slowly enjoy the words and vibrations of the words.
Esha Sarveshwara, Esha Sarvagnaha, Eshontar Yam Esha Yonihi Sarvasya Prabhavapyayauhi Bhutanam.
Next one.
Okay, next one is that is the Nantah Pragnam Na Bahish Pragnam No Ubayatah Pragnam Na Pragnanaganam Na Pragnam Na Pragnam Adrishtam Avyavaharyam Agrahyam Alakshanam Achintyam Avyapadeshyam Ekatma Pratyasaram Prapanchopashamam Shantam Shivamadvaitam Chaturtam Manyante Sa Atma Sa Vigneyaha.
So beautiful, is it not? See, each word is a concept in Vedanta. Each word is a description of the Brahmadeva. And when so eminent is Brahma, it is hard for us to realize. That's why in Vishnu Sahasranamam, that Brahmadeva so says, Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Brahmanya Devaya. So, though he is a Brahmanya Deva, he is divine, connected to any and everything, connected to the Brahma. Therefore, he is a Brahmani Sthitaha. So, but he is to maintain the lokas and requirement. And that's why Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. He cannot simply declare that I am Brahma, stay only in AC room. If any bank manager were to be continuously sitting in the bank AC room and not coming to the seeing the customers or the case workers helping and help them, people are not happy with them. ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರು ಇದ್ದಾರಾ ಅವ್ರು ಎ ಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ. But the same bank manager were to come to the counters, just visit, and any customer in requesting to fill up the challan, if he does it for him then how much happy the people, we customers be. Once upon a time, the syndicate bank people had kept the dog photograph at the entrance of the bank building. I remember it because they're all so sincere as the dog service. So the bank is dependent upon the customers and the deposits that they make and so on. Similarly, Paramatma also, Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, Hiti Mahiti. And moreover, what is his job main is Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya. When he says Jagat Hita means he has to do everything that is good for the world. So when he is doing good, he has to destroy the evil. So unless you just push down your hands when you are in the water, you cannot float. If you lift your hands up inside the water, you will sink. So something like in swimming. So Hitayana Vaga, he has to be always lifting up his his hands and head, then only he will float. So in the same manner, he always interested to do. That's why ನಮ್ಮ ಪುರಂದರದಾಸರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಆದಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಳಿದೇ ಆಯಿತು ನಮ್ಮ ಶ್ರೀಧರನ ಸೇವೆ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ. ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಸೊ ಆದಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಳಿದೇ ಆಯಿತು ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟನ್ನು ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಚಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಮಹಾನುಭಾವ. ಏನಂದರೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದು ಈಶ್ವರ ಅನುಗ್ರಹ, ಈಶ್ವರ ಪ್ರೇರಣ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈಶ್ವರ ಆಜ್ಞಾ ಅಂತ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದರೆ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಗುಣಗಾಡ್ತಾನೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಜನರು. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ದೇವ್ರ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ದೇವ್ರ ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ನಾನು, ದೇವ್ರ ನಿರ್ಮಾಲ್ಯ ತೆಗಿಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಂಗೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿರಲಿ, ದೇವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾರೆ. ಐ ನೋ ಎ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೀ in Tirupati, and he never removed Nirmalyam in the Devata Gruha for 1 year and odd. When I went and asked, what is this heap of Nirmalyam on this? You should remove it 24 hours only. A flower has 24 hours freshness, and a tulsi 3 days. That is 24 into 3 hours. But Bilvam has got 7 days. But anything will get Nirmalyam, and all that Nirmalyam to be directed towards that Chandishwara, who did lot of penance and got approval from Shiva. That's why we say Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Chandishwaraya Namaha iti Nirmalyam Visrujya ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆ ನಿರ್ಮಾಲ್ಯವನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಮೇಲೆ we proceed. So that's why we understand that Brahmadeva is being described in these 2 verses, and that's Omkara Swarupa or Omkara Atma, Omkaram Pranavatmanam. See, Atma ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಈ ಮಹರ್ಷಿಗಳು. ಈ ಮಾಂಡುಕ್ಯ ಮಹರ್ಷಿ is trying to say that our Atma has got padas, and all these padas are connected to that. We have to understand, because Antaratma me sudhyantam, Paramatma me sudhyantam. Why? Jyotiraham viraja vipapma bhuyasam. So when you are having that kind of that Jyoti is the Paramatma inside us, and we have to become, that is outer Atma has to become viraja and vipapma. This is exactly what the homam, viraja homam, which the sannyasis have got to do, or people have got to do when they take to sannyasa. Sannyasa andrenu samyak nyasta, you have to give up all mundane attractions and you live your own world of happiness. Actually it is a dryness. ನಾರಾಯಣ ಸ್ಮೃತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ. ನಂದು ಅಂತ ನಾನೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ತುಂಬ ಈಸಿ. ಸುಳ್ಳು ಏದು ಹೇಳೋದು ತುಂಬ ವೇಗವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಯೋಚನೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಸಿ ಟು ಸೇ ಅನ್ಟ್ರೂತ್, ಬಟ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಟು ಫಾಲೋ ಆರ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಆರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡೇಟ್ ದ ಟ್ರೂತ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಸೊ ಸತ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಧರ್ಮರಾಜ, he was so much loving dharma, but he was prompted to say lie 2 times. So he, before going to Sarkaloka, he visited Narakaloka, and met his father, of course, because of the punyam, and he saw his brothers in Narakalokam suffering. Then he asked his father, "What is this? We suffered sufficiently in the Bhulokam." And first thing that Yama told was, "You came first to Narakaloka because you have done some papam. You said untruth 2 times, I have told. So you are now visiting Narkaloka, and afterwards you will go up to other higher lokas." So that's what is the explanation given by Father Jamadharma Raja, saying that, "Aya, you have also skipped that vratam, Satya vratam. But in case of Satya Harishchandra, he has not done. So even the persons who tortured him, even included that Vishwamitra Maharshi himself came and apologized and gave him all that. So ಈ ತರಹ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ಪುರಾಣಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. And I think next year we'll have our annual day celebration with this kind of thing, the Puranak avataras, etc. Anyway, so here in the 6th mantra, you observe who is this Paramatma, who is this Omkara, what is this Sarveswara, Sarvagnaha, Antaryami, Yonihi, Saryasya Prabhavaha, Api Bhutanam Avyayaha. Apyayo. So Bhutanam. So Bhutanam Avyayaha. Prabhavapi Avyayaha Bhutanam. That is, he is one who will be dissolving the people, who will be creating the people, who will be maintaining the people, who will be providing knowledge, all kinds of knowledge to our people. He is one who stays inside. He is the inner Antarvedi ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನರಸಿಂಹಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಇದಾನಲ್ಲಿ. So there are Narasimha Kshetras. Among Narasimha Kshetras, Antarvedi is one Narasimha. And Ahobalam is another Narasimha. There are more than 50, 60 Narasimha Kshetras are there. And where Narasimha Swami is the Antaryami. That's why Namadehi Karavalambam ಅಂತ ಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯರು ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, he has not chosen ABCD gods. He chose only Narasimha. Because Apasmara Vighatine Narasimhayate Namaha. So Apasmara and Apada and all that kind of, because when the fire was burning, Shankara was kept on fire and lit with the fire. At that time, Narasimha Swami lends his hand and he becomes absolutely normal, because they're all divine people born for some divine purposes to achieve. Therefore, he is said to be Bhutanam Prabhavaha api ayayau si Bhutanam. He is not only the publisher or promoter or projector of all kinds of 86 lakh species are there in the world. That's what people say. 86 lakh species ವೆರೈಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೋ ಏನೋ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. We know only a few. What knowledge we have got is limited. We know something only, but everything to know is only Paramatma will do it. Therefore, it is said that Sarveswaraha, without his knowledge, nothing can take place. That's why even to kill animal, even to kill the insects, or even to do that kind of maranam to them, you have to get the approval of God. If the approval of Ishvara is not there, you will not die. People who do, for example, sometimes suicide. Though they take suicide, somebody will take to hospital, remove the poison and come back. There will be suicide case upon him. No. So that's why any, either positive or negative, is to be approved by the Paramatma. Tenasyantu Sivagnaya ಅಂತ ದೇವತಾರ್ಚನೆ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? Tenasyantu Bhumibarakaha. Those people, when I am doing puja, the worship ground, when I clean it, in case I miss to clean up those still sticking to the ground, them also with the anugna of Paramatma, Shiva, should be killed. Then that's why you leave the entire sacrificial ground absolutely clean. See, in olden days, ಸತೀಶ್ ಗಾರು ನೋಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆವಾಗ ಹಬ್ಬ ಬಂದರೆ ಮನೆ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ತೊಳೆದು ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ದಿ ಬಾರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ವಾಲ್ಸ್, They used to use white lines and then red lines. ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೆಂಗಸ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಅಂದರೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟೇ ಫಿಟ್ ಆರ್ ಜಿಮ್ ಆರ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ದಟ್ ದೇ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ give happiness to the inmates of the house and guards is unimaginably great. They were never lazy at all. Everything they used to do in the house, grinding, pounding, and etc. And decoration and all that, they used to do it. Interior decoration. When I remember, when I was a boy and all that, when we go to others' houses on a festival day, the entire border of the walls is being decorated with white and red lines. And ಅದೋ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು లిక్విఫైడ్ ಒಂದು ఐ డోంట్ రిమెంబర్ దట్. సో చక్కగా ముగ్గు వేసేవాళ్ళు మధ్యలో కూడా. అటువంటి వాతావరణంలో దే యూస్ టు డూ పూజ, ఇన్వైట్ గాడ్స్ అండ్ సో ఆ టైము, ಆ ಪೇಷನ್ಸು, ಆ ಭಕ್ತಿ, ಆ ರಕ್ತಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಆ ಅನುಜ್ಞ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಯಿತು. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯಾರೊಬ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಇನ್ ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇನ್ 80s and 90s people used to use loose dress and they had a lot of indriya nigraham. But now they are making the tight dress and indriyas are out of their controls. ಸೊ ಈ ಥರದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಚೇಂಜು. ಊಟ ಮಾಡೋರು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು, ಬಡ್ಸೋರು ಮಾತ್ರ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರು. ಈಗೇನಾಗಿದೆ, ಬಡ್ಸೋರು ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಊಟ ಮಾಡೋರು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅನ್ಯಾಯ. ಸೊ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್. ಬಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. Because of some people who are observing the rules and regulations and sampradaya of the Sanatana Dharma, they are there. That's why he is Shiva, Ishvara, Brahma is Ishvaraha Sarvesham, Sarvavastunam, Sarvajananam, Sarvajagatam, Sarvalokanam, Sarvabhuvananam, Ishvaraha, Eshaha. ಸೊ ಈ ಈಶ್ವರ ಶಬ್ದವನ್ನೇ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವೆನ್ some tip to some name, I just forgot, Mudivindriyar. So there was one Shiva temple. They wanted to renovate and have all that. And after renovation and Kumbhabhishekam, the authorities wanted to have a souvenir brought out containing articles only on Ishvara. Only on Ishvara. So the temple authorities approached Nadaveda Kendra to me and said, "Sir, we are just having the idea of bringing out articles only on Ishvara, not any other aspects of Ishvara. So please contribute." So then I gave one article and it was published. We went to that renovation temple also in that place. I forgot the name. What is that? Ishvara is the Shabda, which involves all commandments and all commanding power. Commissioning, commanding, demanding, everything will be there in the Ishvara Shabda implied. Therefore, it is said, he is the knower and he is the he is the worker, knower, executor, and also decision provider, decision maker, and executor. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈಶ್ವರ ಶಬ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಅರ್ಥ ಇದೆ. And moreover, every Ishvara, whoever comes to rule, there should be Sarvajna. He must be having some knowledge. Without knowledge, if you become Ishvara, we know the dangers. That's why in India, I just read the news that those people who contest for elections, they must have minimum graduation or something. Nowadays, for India to become MLA or MP or anything like that, minister, they need not have any qualification basic to contest and all those things. See, I know my own classmate who failed in SSLC for 3-4 times, he became minister in Andhra Pradesh. Anyway, ಈ ತರಹ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು, ಬಟ್ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಸೊ ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, he must be knowing everything. and ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞ ಸರ್ವಂ ಜಾನಾತಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅರ್ಥ. ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ಜಾತವೇದ ತರಹ. ಜಾತಂ ಜಾತಂ ಯಹ ವೇದ ಜಾತವೇದ ಅಗ್ನಿ. ಸೊ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. knows any and everything everywhere. ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞ. And but such an eminent person is not visible to all people, but he is available to people. That is the greatness of that. If at all you want to see the boss will be in somewhere not available, not accessible, and not seen every day. but unless you make a special effort and appointment. But some bosses are there who are always available to anybody who needs to meet and discuss and all those things. I was told, I don't know the truth, in Microsoft in authority, that the CEO or so, his name, his chambers, he walks the way all, and his chambers is there, always open doors. Anybody can appoint it up and meet him and can exchange thoughts, because there are so many 40 buildings are there in Seattle, the Microsoft buildings, and so he is accessible. So a real boss like Paramatma should be available, and but he will be available only when you try to put forth effort. Therefore, he is called Antaryami. Yami andre mobile. He is not stable. He is not at one place. He will be traveling and moving place to place, place to place. There on that wherein that Antaryami, something like a submarine. So there are ships on the water, boats on the water, steamers on the water. Everybody will be able to see that. But there are submarines inside. They are so nobody can note down where submarine is going on. In fact, I had the wonderful opportunity to to go into the submarine and see how all comforts are there in submarine also. So while war also submarines are there. That means that's what exactly. But inside the water, inside the body, inside that, Paramatma is constantly on watch, on work, on command, and on execution. Therefore, ಅಂತಸ್ತಿಷ್ಠತು ಅಮೃತಸ್ಯ ಗೋಪಾಹ ಅನ್ನೋ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಮೃತ ಗೋಪನ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾನೆ. Amrita is in all people because Vivekananda says, Amritasya putraha vayam uttishtata jagrata ಪ್ರಾಪ್ಯವರಾನ್ ನಿಬೋಧತ ಅಂತ ಉಪನಿಷತ್ ವಾಕ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಕೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಉತ್ತಿಷ್ಠತ, ರೈಸ್ ಅಪ್, ಜಾಗ್ರತ, ಬಿ ಅವೇಕ್ಫುಲ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಪ್ಯ ವರಾನ್ ನಿಬೋಧತ. ಸೊ ಈ ತರಹ ಸ್ಲೋಗನ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಉತ್ತೇಜನ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಯಾ, ಸೊ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಉಪನಿಷತ್ತಿಂದನೇ ಕೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್. ಸೊ ಉತ್ತಿಷ್ಠತ ಜಾಗ್ರತ, ಐ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್. ನೌ ಯು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, you remind me. That's why Yami, that is mobile. See, I told one day to one person in Bangalore, he had a 70-120 site and big building inside, but he had a garden in front of it and gate and all that. So to reach him, no mobile and no phone at that time. And I told the owner, who is our friend, sir, you put a calling bell to your gate, so that people can, you have got a dog also in that. So who can come to you directly opening the door and coming to you, walking all the way, the dog will pounce. So we want to inform that we have come. So put a calling bell. That gentleman who was the manager of the HAL and all that, he put a calling bell to the gate, and so it's accessible. Keeping dog in the house and not, who will know? But security may be good, but still, but our Paramatma is not like that. He is a Yami. He is mobile. He is available. Even that other speaker was telling, who is really great man, who is accessible to all people and helpful for all people. He is God. So accessibility, something like a duty doctor. Our Rudra is a duty doctor. So that's why we approach Rudra for any relief of problems and anything. So Rudra is all that. So Antaryami. And moreover, without his knowledge, nothing can come into existence. That's why he is called Yonihi. He himself is a Yoni. If at all he wants to manifest, he has to depend on himself only. Atma Yonihi, Atma Yagnam, Atma Agnihi. For example, people say that Sati Devi burnt herself in her own Atma Agni, not depending upon any other Agni, in the place of her father. Daksha, when he insulted her husband, she tolerated her, but she could not tolerate. Any devoted wife will not tolerate her husband being criticized by XYZ. So Sati Devi burnt in her own Atma Agni. And even Sita Devi also says, I can do like that, but I have no permission from Rama to burn myself. And so I have to suffer until the Rama comes. He's so confident. Forget of that she's Lakshmi and all that. But Sita Rama Dampatya, when you talk about it, that they depend upon the husband. That's why in Ramayana Valmiki says, Amitasya dataram bhattaram kana pujayet. Mitam dadati pita, mitam putraha, mitam dara, mitam dayadaha. So Amitasya dataram ಭರ್ತಾರಂ ಕಾನ ಪೂಜ್ಯತಿ ಅಂತ ಅದು ರಾಮಾಯಣ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಆ ತರಹ ಯೋನಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೋರವರ್ ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರಭವ ನಾಟ್ ಯೋನಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಟು ಜನರೇಟ್ ಬಟ್ ದಿ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಟು ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ಸಂಬಡಿ ಔಟ್ ಸಿ ಎ ಲೇಡಿ ಎ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ವುಮನ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ಡ್ ಬರ್ನಾಡ್ ಶಾ and proposed, asked him to marry because Bernard Shaw is a wonderful scholar, beautiful, intelligent. This is what people talk about. That lady, I am beautiful and you are intelligent. Supposing the child born to us would be both beautiful and intelligent. And proposal ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರೆ you will get a joke. Okay, that's good, but I'm afraid if the child were to derive your intelligence and my ugliness, it will be a problem ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಜೋಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದರು ಅಂತ. ಹಾಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂದರೆ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಅಂದರೆ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಒನ್ ಲೇಡಿ ಮ್ಯಾರಿಡ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಬಟ್ ಶಿ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಮದರ್. ಸೊ ಸಮ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಶಿ ಬಿಕೇಮ್ ಎ ಮದರ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹರ್ ಡಿಸೈರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಎ ಮದರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್. ಸೊ ಈ ತರಹ ಯೋನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಯೋನಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಆ ಎರಡನ್ನು ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋರು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ Prabhava and moreover simply keeping on making them live is a problem. Therefore what we do is bhutanam vyaya. He has to also change. He has to also annihilate all people coming. That's what you see in Buddhist other religions. We here in America they talk about this on 31st October or so. They have the day when they feed the departed fathers, mains. And I see in Singapore on the crossroads, they keep on this Amavasya days. So Pitru Devatas are being fed so that they will not come back again onto the roads and affecting the traffic and all that. Anyway, so I'm just not getting that. They keep all pumpkins outside their house, make their front yard a mashanam. graveyard. So that way ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಧವಾದ ಕ್ರಿಯಾಕಲಾಪಗಳು ಈ ಆತ್ಮಸ್ವರೂಪವಾಗಿರುವ ಸರ್ವೇಶ್ವರನಾಗಿರುವ ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞನಾಗಿರುವ ಅಂತರ್ಮಯಾಮಿಯಾಗಿರುವ ಯೋನಿ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಸರ್ವಸ್ವ ಯೋನಿ ಆಗಿರುವ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಆಗಿರುವ ಭೂತಾನಾಂ ಜಯನೂ ಆಗಿರುವ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಈಸ್ ಓಂಕಾರ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಲೇಟ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ that we are able to spend some time reflection on this Mundukhyopanishad. And 17th May we are going to have a talk on Mundukhyopanishad. Not this Mundukhya.
Halloween day, 31st.
Pardon?
Halloween day, 31st October.
Correct. Halloween day. I forgot. See, slowly things I am forgetting in my mind. So thank you that you have Halloween day. And in other places also they keep some food and lamp and other things at the crossroads, center of the roads, indicating that they don't come. I have seen in Singapore people doing it on the road and they do worship on the. Anyway, so this is how Yoni and Prabhava. These are the birth and death and Janma and Maranam. Ee Janma Marana, that's why Krishna also said, Jatasya dhruvo mrutyuhum and martasya dhruvo janma anta. So ಈ ತರಹ ಇದೆ. ಇದರ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ you have to believe someday suddenly it occurs, people are out from the body. Anyway, so thank you very much. Om swasti helapa sahana bhavatu.
Sahanau bhunaktu sah viryam karavavahai. Om Shanti. शांति शांति हरि ओम श्री स्वस्ति ओम वेद पुरुष आशीर्वाद सिद्धिरस्तु मातृ चरणाविंदरस्तु ओम श्री स्वस्ति ओम हरि ओम